Have you ever wondered why some people glide effortlessly through life, while others seem to struggle against an invisible current, always forcing their way forward? There's a concept hidden in ancient wisdom that might just unlock this mystery for you. It's called Wu Wei. But it's not as simple as doing nothing. No, Wu Wei goes much deeper, offering a path to authentic, powerful action that feels like pure flow, rather than exhausting effort. So, what is this non-forcing that sounds almost like magic? Imagine watching a skilled dancer, a true artist. Whether they are on stage or a casual sidewalk performer, you can tell when every movement is natural, flowing seamlessly into the next without strain. But the second they start trying too hard, that grace vanishes, doesn't it? The same can be said about anything we do in life. When we push too much, force too hard, the natural flow breaks. And what's left is a hollow, artificial effort. Wu Wei, from the profound teachings of Lao Tzu in Taoism, is about moving in harmony with life's rhythms, like a leaf floating on a river, not resisting, but moving with the currents. This isn't about being passive or lazy, as many people misunderstand. Wu Wei is often misinterpreted as doing nothing, as if it's an excuse for idleness. But this is far from the truth. Wu Wei is an art, a sophisticated way of being that involves complete awareness and skillful timing. It means acting only when the moment is ripe, using the minimal energy needed to accomplish what's in front of you. It's a bit like judo. You wait until your opponent is overextended, perfectly off balance, and only then do you add a gentle nudge to send them off course. Wu Wei teaches us to act with that same precision, tapping into the power of balance so we are not spending all our strength fighting against life. There's an old saying from Shakespeare that echoes this principle. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. This means knowing the perfect moment to act can turn the course of life itself. Wu Wei is about mastering this sense of timing, understanding the tide of each moment. It's like being a skilled sailor, not rowing and fighting against the waves, but using them to your advantage, letting them carry you forward. In Wu Wei, you learn to read life's currents, moving in sync rather than against them, harnessing life's natural momentum rather than wasting energy in resistance. One of Lao Tzu's most famous teachings about Wu Wei is on the nature of virtue itself. He says, "Superior virtue has no intention to be virtuous. This means true virtue is effortless, arising naturally without the ego's drive to prove itself. If someone is constantly trying to appear good or virtuous, their actions feel hollow and insincere, right? Real virtue doesn't need to advertise itself. It simply shines without effort." On the other hand, those who try hard to be virtuous often miss the mark, becoming forced and artificial. So, what does Wu Wei look like in everyday life? It's a state of being where you let go of unnecessary force and step into alignment with the natural way of things. It's a call to engage fully, but not aggressively, to approach each moment with presence and responsiveness, not with rigid control. It's living in a way that allows life to unfold without our interference, yet with our complete participation. Wu Wei invites us to ask ourselves, can I live without forcing, without struggling? Can I let life's energy flow through me rather than trying to control every detail? And what would happen if I just moved with life, like a master sailor, navigating rather than battling? This ancient principle of not forcing is an art, a subtle dance that promises an extraordinary life journey, if only we're willing to give it a try. Rediscovering wonder, the secret to living beyond limits. Are you truly spontaneous, or are you just following a script? That question might feel uncomfortable, but it's at the heart of a truth that challenges the way we live. Real spontaneity, the kind that bursts out of us, unplanned and natural, isn't just about rebellion or doing the opposite of societal norms. In fact, when we force ourselves to act differently just to be unique, we're still bound by the rules we're trying to reject. True freedom is something far deeper. To break free, we must understand that what drives us isn't what we think it is. It's like this. Imagine a child standing under a vast, starlit sky, eyes wide, unfiltered by ideas about what the universe is. That child feels a pull, an urge to ask, what's out there? What lies beyond? That wonder isn't something we learn. It's woven into our very essence. Sadhguru calls this the wonder of the void or shunya, a mystery so profound it goes beyond the physical and even the boundaries of thought itself's state of not knowing, of embracing the universe with innocent eyes, is something that adults often lose in the quest for certainty. We replace awe with concepts, and suddenly, everything is categorized, explained, and predictable. But Sadhguru reminds us in Encounter the Enlightened that true wisdom doesn't lie in knowing all the answers. It's in recognizing how vast and uncontainable life's mysteries truly are. This requires stepping into a kind of cultivated openness, an acceptance that perhaps we don't and won't ever know it all. 16 source world of mysticism, Shiva, or Shiva, meaning that which is not, represents this ultimate openness. He's the embodiment of nothingness, a void beyond our physical reality and our intellectual understanding. When IAF everything you think you know, you're able to touch this essence. It's not a thing, not a person, but a space that allows for everything. Adiyogi himself, the first yogi, recognized this emptiness as the core of all existence. But he didn't describe it as an absence or a loss. Instead, it was the origin, the unbounded foundation upon which everything else rests. It's the cosmic void that allows space, time, and life to flourish. This concept might sound abstract, yet it's incredibly practical. When you release the constant need to label and control, you allow life to flow. This is the essence of what Sadhguru describes as true inner freedom, living not from a place of need, but from a state of deep receptivity. And when we become receptive, the vastness of existence, like a boundless sky, becomes something we can experience rather than just think about. But how do we why? It starts by rekindling the childlike wonder that society has buried under layers of expectations, fears, and logical constraints. Just like a child who is curious about the stars without trying to understand them fully, we need to reclaim our own curiosity, a longing to simply experience life in all its mystery. Sadhguru explains in Adiyogi, the source of yoga, that being in this state means becoming like a cosmic child, open, intrigued, and endlessly curious about the fabric of existence itself. When we embrace this way of being, we connect not just to the world around us, but to the vastness within us. So, the journey to true spontaneity a matter of acting without rules, nor is it about refusing to conform. It's about realizing that our essence is far more expansive than any rule, any logic, or any identity we might construct. When you stop trying to force spontaneity, when you let go of the need to explain every aspect of life, you enter a space of immense freedom. A freedom that doesn't just react, but responds from a place of natural alignment with existence. This is the hidden key to experiencing life in its fullness, without fear or restriction. Perhaps we can all take a step toward that mystery, that void, and see what unfolds. Because it is only in the heart of that infinite unknown that true spontaneity, real joy, and boundless creativity can thrive. Have you ever felt that itch, that need to understand the why behind everything around you? You're not alone. From the moment we're born, we're filled with questions. Why are we here? Who created us? What happens when we die? These questions define the very essence of our human experience. But here's the twist. We may never find definitive answers. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly the way it's meant to be. A child embodies this endless wonder. They look up at the stars with awe, spinning their minds in circles as they try to imagine forever. They feel the vastness of the sky, the sheer mystery of it all, and they're thrilled, unafraid to let that mystery swirl within them. Somewhere along the way, we start to lose that freedom. Society begins to tell us that only what can be understood, defined, and controlled is real. The unknown. Well, that becomes something we fear, something we push aside. This is where the wisdom of the mystics comes in, inviting us to step beyond the limits of our logical mind. In Adiyogi, the source of yoga, Sadhguru describes how Shiva, the ultimate yogi, embodies this boundless mystery of existence. Shiva, or Adiyogi, represents that space where all answers dissolve into silence, a space where the limits of human understanding fall away. In this state of ultimate receptivity, as Sadhguru explains, we confront the vast unknown without needing to contain it within the boundaries of our minds. Think about it. The very nature of life is cyclical. Everything we observe follows this cycle. The changing seasons, the phases of the moon, the cycle of birth and death. In Life and Death in One Breath, Sadhguru speaks of death not as an ending, but as a necessary balancing act to life's relentless flow. Death, he says, is the only mystery that remains untouched by human manipulation, a natural part of the cosmic rhythm we all dance to. Imagine then if we could see life not as a problem to solve, but as a mystery to experience fully. Sadhguru often says that the root of our suffering lies in our identification with our limited minds. We want every answer wrapped up neatly. But in truth, some mysteries are meant to be explored, not resolved. This shift, from wanting to understand everything to simply embracing the flow, can bring about profound peace. Curiosity isn't just a phase for children. It's an eternal drive within us all. It's as if the universe itself planted this deep curiosity within us, whispering, "Keep seeking, keep exploring." In fact, many spiritual traditions point to this childlike curiosity as a gateway to higher consciousness. Einstein even said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." This is a call to reclaim that childlike wonder, to let go of needing to know everything, and instead feel everything deeply, intuitively. And perhaps that's the greatest insight of all. Life is not here to be figured out. Life is here to be experienced. In our need for answers, we often overlook the beauty of simply living, of letting each moment unfold without forcing meaning onto it. As Sadhguru says, real wisdom doesn't come from filling ourselves with ideas or definitions. Instead, it's about clearing away everything that stands in the way of experiencing the pure, unfiltered reality of this moment. So, what if the secret to life isn't hidden in some ultimate answer, but in our willingness to be endlessly curious, to embrace life as it is, vast, mysterious, and gloriously unpredictable? If we can reclaim that curiosity, that openness, we tap into a dimension of life beyond fear and limitation. And in this space, we don't need to look out there for answers, because all we seek is already within us. As Sadhguru so often reminds us, everything we need to know about existence lies right here, within the experience of being alive. Let the questions remain. Let life be a mystery. In the dance between knowing and not knowing, perhaps we'll find a joy far greater than any answer could offer. The art of seeing beyond, entering a life without boundaries. What if I told you that to truly experience life, you must first let go of everything you think you know? It's a bold idea, But what if all your opinions, judgments, and beliefs are actually veils that keep you from seeing the full beauty of existence? Imagine entering a room where you're asked to leave your beliefs at the door. Every opinion, every bit of knowledge you've accumulated. You can pick them up on your way out, but for now, they won't serve you. You're about to step into an experience beyond logic, a space of pure presence. Think about it. Most of us live tangled in habit energy, caught in a loop of thought patterns and judgments we rarely question. We label everything, red as red, soft as soft, good as good, without ever truly experiencing what they are. But what if, for a moment, we suspended all labels and simply allowed things to be? The Buddhists call this habit energy, a perpetual momentum that keeps us locked in the prison of our own minds. We think we see the world, but really, we see only our concepts of it. This state of seeing without seeing is a trap we fall into every day. Sadhguru speaks about the nature of true receptivity in Encounter the Enlightened, where he invites us to step back from the mind's chatter and open ourselves to a raw, unfiltered view of existence. This is more than just silencing the mind. It's an invitation to experience reality beyond the layers of conditioning we've built up over time. But how do we step out of these familiar confines? The first step is to recognize the limitations of logic and embrace a childlike state of openness. Children look at the world with eyes wide open, untouched by preconceived ideas. They don't label or judge, they simply experience. And here lies the magic, to step beyond habitual thinking and immerse ourselves in the moment with fresh eyes. As Life and Death in One Breath explains, embracing this openness allows us to perceive the world as a constant unfolding mystery, something that no mind can fully grasp. There's an art to this simplicity, an art to living without the heavy weight of constant evaluation. It's not about discarding intelligence or abandoning all logic. Rather, it's about understanding that logic can only take us so far. Beyond logic, there is a vast field of experience, a direct connection to life that doesn't demand our mind's approval. In this space, reality unfolds in ways we never anticipated, bringing a sense of presence that feels both profound and natural. And then, as Sadhguru teaches, something extraordinary happens. You open the door to grace. When we stop resisting, stop defining, and simply allow life to reveal itself, grace flows into our lives without effort. It's not something we can force or grasp. It's something we allow. This surrender isn't a loss. It's a powerful acceptance that allows us to become part of the flow of existence itself. As we come to the end of this exploration, consider this. Maybe life was never meant to be understood or conquered. Maybe the ultimate gift of life is to experience it fully, without barriers or judgments. To be a true seeker is to embrace the mystery, to trust that beneath all our ideas and opinions lies a beauty so deep that it defies words. In this mystery, we don't find all the answers, but we discover the freedom to live fully, to see clearly, and to be at peace with what is. Thank you for being part of this journey. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who might find meaning in it. Every bit of support helps us bring more of this wisdom to the world. May your path be filled with clarity, openness, and the boundless joy of simply being. Blessings to all, and remember,